From Ask Reddit. Pro-Brexit politicians promised to cut migration and now it is 80% higher than before Brexit. What do you think about it? Let's go. I think Brexit was a pink unicorn promoted by grifters so they could bet on the shitstorm that would engulf the UK and made millions. The general public who voted for it believed they were voting for white rights and instead got fuck all. Brexit was always just an outrage campaign that shitty politicians could run on instead of actually dealing with issues. It just went as far as passing a popular vote. Without checking facts or stats and thinking back to what I thought when the UK left. Because they were targeting EU immigration and completely ignoring the Commonwealth immigration that had nothing to do with the EU, and they need migrants, so companies get them from there now. Even without Brexit, many of the Eastern European migrants would have left on their own. Because Eastern Europe has caught up enough that it doesn't really make much financial sense to move to the UK, especially London, never visiting again, so goddamn expensive. I think pro-Brexit politicians in general were and are massive liars, to no one's surprise really. Brexit was a Cambridge Analytica project funded/designed by Russia with intent to destabilize Europe, with the added bonus of making conditions worse for British people. UK need to rejoin the EU while fixing the issues as best they can. To this day, the thing I find the wildest about Brexit is that it was a non-binding resolution that barely passed, yet inspired extreme immediate nothing we can do now action. Not even remotely surprised. Freedom of movement was not the reason for our immigration figures. The reason for our immigration figures is due to the economic model we use, which requires constant growth. With people not having children at the rates prior, immigration is filling that gap. With freedom of movement we had a system where it wasn't a big commitment to come here, so some did and stayed for a bit then moved on. Now it's a big commitment, so people are permanently staying and because of that bringing their family with them. I think the modern right are lying bastards is what I think. They run on problems that aren't fucking problems and then lie about fixing them. Politicians are not held accountable for their words and promises. All problems in politics stem from this. If you make a loud promise, get people's support and fail to deliver on it, then you either lack foresight to make a realistic promise or you lack competence to make one a reality. Or you're a fraud. Either way, this should not go unpunished. Yeah, and the fault largely lies with Boris Johnson. Country was looking at a recession post-COVID, and some of our smaller younger universities were facing a funding crisis. This was his fix for those problems. Gary Stevenson has some great takes on this. Check his YouTube channel out. Gary's Economics. Basically, the wealthy are funding anti-immigration sentiment and policy to blame immigrants for the problems caused by inequality. But they don't actually want to address immigration, because if you keep letting people in, then you are perpetuating the system you are blaming and continue to distract. This subreddit has turned into a public opinion poll for politics. The Conservative Party, as a concept, runs on problems but exacerbates them when actually given the power. It's what we face over and over and over again in America. GOP crashes the economy, Dems slowly dig out but get canned for the slow speed of it, GOP crashes it again. They claim to be deficit hawks, but blow the deficit up worse. They run on free speech but clamp it down as soon as elected. They claim to be about personal freedoms, but clearly do not. It's all a farce, but people have short memories. Say you're anti-immigration, greater than get elected, greater than increase immigration, greater than blame it on the opposition, greater than repeat. In the meantime, use the immigration story to explain rising costs while your rich friends rob the country from all its resources, so there's nothing left for the middle and lower class. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about the rise in migration post-Brexit? And if you liked this video, be sure to subscribe for more.